and welcome to another episode of the What's Next 2024 interview series. Today, we continue our pursuit of discovering what's next in the realm of marketing, particularly on digital marketing. I'm excited to begin this conversation. Let's welcome Marc Zander, Global Chief Client Officer of Teads. Teads operates a leading cloud-based omnichannel platform that enables programmatic digital advertising across a global ecosystem of quality digital media. So let's hear from Marc. Good morning, Marc. Thank you for joining us today in our What's Next interview series.
Delighted to be here.
Wonderful. So to kick things off, as someone deeply involved in digital transformation and harnessing technology and data for marketing effectiveness, what emerging trends or technologies do you foresee shaping the future of advertising, and how is Teads positioned to leverage them?
Great question, Catherine. So the first and probably the most obvious place to start is around AI. Everybody is talking about AI, and everyone has a different point of view on AI. From a Teads perspective, we're in a really great position because we use AI in everything that we do and have been doing that for the last 10 years. And we use it very much from a predictive perspective to make sure that we maximize the effectiveness and the efficiency of our clients' advertising budget. So we're really trying to make sure that through the AI that operates on our platform, we're able to predict where we can find the right person at the right time with the right message to drive the maximum impact. And we're moving very much from predictive AI to generative AI and looking again to see how we can do that to create multiple variations in ad content, in text, to provide the best possible solutions. We also use AI today for creative optimization, for also things like measurement and predicting things like attention. So AI is rooted in everything that Teads does, and I think that's going to be one of the really big developments as we go through. But then also we see a change in how people are consuming media. So a big growth in CTV, and as people are moving away from watching on linear TV to online, and again we see some fantastic opportunities. Teads has really embraced that, and over the last couple of years we're really trying to build, exactly as we did for quality publishing, a quality, brand safe, and most importantly fraud-free ecosystem. And then on top of that, leveraging our creative, our data, and our measurement skills to really provide fantastic opportunities for our clients. And we've just announced the launch at a global level of some unique inventory with the LG home screen, so we can really provide very high impact opportunities for our clients to advertise and link what they're doing on CTV to what they're doing on the phone. So CTV and leveraging that with our classic outstream is a really interesting opportunity.
Wonderful. That sounds really, really exciting. And the inevitable AI, I was waiting for this keyword or trend, right? Speaking about AI, Teads has really grown and innovated with it. And now that we've talked about this very real trend, I'll go to the next topic that has been a trend for a while now. I'm not sure if the industry still calls it that, but with Google phasing out third-party cookies, a significant change in the digital advertising ecosystem. So how do you anticipate this impacting Teads' approach to audience targeting and measurement?
Again, a great question, Catherine. And I think the first bit is to actually think about why Apple started originally to remove cookies, which is around consumer privacy. And from a Teads perspective, we are 100% behind that because we passionately believe in consumer privacy. And already, whilst you may be talking about cookies disappearing, today you can't target anyone with an iPhone. Up to 60-70% of all audiences in major markets, you can't target today with cookies. But as you rightly said, Google is deprecating those cookies, and by the end of the year, there'll be much, much less cookies available. That's actually very good news for Teads because Teads is based on contextual targeting. And because we have the pixel in every single publisher page, we're able to get much greater quality and quantity of data that doesn't infringe any consumer privacy. And we're able to use that to build very strong contextual audiences for our brands. And we've been essentially cookie-free for the last 3 years. And we've been working very much over the last 2 years to prove to our clients and our advertisers that we can deliver at least the same, if not better results in a cookieless world as in a cookie world. So whilst a lot of advertisers may be thinking, oh, what do we do in a cookieless world? Teads is already cookieless by default. And over 75% of everything that we do is cookieless today. But it's really important for advertisers because if you take something like the Olympics, how they start their campaigns in the Olympics will be very different from how they end their campaign, because the first week of the Olympics will still be in a cookie world, and by the end of the Olympics, you'll be in a cookieless world. So it's really now a burning platform, and it's really, really important that advertisers work work with people like Teads because we already have those solutions. They're proven solutions, they're risk-free solutions, and they actually deliver better results.
Right. Well, you've heard it here, folks. They've been ready for 3 years. So what are you guys waiting for? I like the sentiment of they started because of the consumer privacy concerns. And we hope brands think of that way as well. Let's go to the next question. So given your commitment to continuous learning and personal development, how do you stay ahead of the curve in an industry that is constantly evolving? And what advice would you offer to professionals looking to excel in the field of marketing and business strategy?
So from my perspective, I'm very lucky because I work in a very high-tech company that is continually pushing the boundaries of everything that's going on from a digital perspective. So I learn literally something every single day that I go in the office, and I don't have to go out and hunt it because it's there in everything that we do. We're a very highly innovative company. We're constantly coming up with new solutions to deliver the best possible advertising solutions for our clients. I also have a very lucky role because I spend my time talking to the biggest advertisers across all the verticals, many of which are strategic partners with Teads. So I learn from every single discussion that I have with them. And I'm also able to share some of my learning over my career. So we really help each other to build better solutions. I think my advice would be several things. The first is we live in a world now where the best marketeers, and I see that with some of our partners, are really breaking down the silos between creative, media, data and insights. And whilst it's a more complicated ecosystem, it also has tons more potential than it had in the past. So the people that operate in pure silos are really not maximizing the benefits of what they can do. So really encouraging companies to look at how they build advertising, creative media and data and insights to really get it working together. I think the other thing is the principles of what advertisers are trying to do hasn't changed, which is trying to reach the most amount of people with the right message or the best possible content at the right time with the right context. And so that's exactly what was happening 20, 30 years ago. Again, there are many more tools and there are lots of opportunities to understand better the quality of the creative, to understand the likelihood of it working against certain target audiences, to measure better in terms of brand impact, in terms of sales impact. And those are areas that we do a lot with our clients. But I'd really encourage all marketeers to get to understand that better. And fundamentally, to spend more time on media. Media is the biggest controllable element of a marketeer's P&L. And a lot of time is spent on the creative side without always thinking of where that content is actually going to be shown. And there's some massive wins which will drive effectiveness if marketers spend more time looking at media. And we see lots of our partners starting to do more and more of that, which is great.
Now, finally, with your wealth of experience, I believe 30 plus years in the industry, in developing and executing cutting-edge marketing campaigns, what advice would you offer to brands looking to future-proof their digital advertising strategies amidst rapidly evolving technologies and consumer behaviors?
Again, a really good and a difficult question, but I think there are several ways I would approach that. The first is to really have a strategic look at the media suppliers that they're putting into their ecosystem. So you will need the likes of a YouTube, a Meta, an Amazon, a TikTok, and I call them big super tankers, and they're very good at the big super tanker stuff. But you also need to choose a couple of fast, agile speedboats, of which Teads is one of those. And we're seeing more and more big advertisers across all the major verticals turning to us and going, we really like what you do. We also really like how you do it. And we want to future-proof ourselves to be less reliant on the big super tankers. And we see you as one of the really big strategic bets because you operate in a very different place, not in social media, but in quality publishers, which enables us to get massive reach, which enables us to get great brand safety, which is really, really important for big advertisers, and high levels of attention, because if you're leaning in and you've actively chosen to read something, you lean in, you're highly attentive, and if we can get great content in that kind of platform, it delivers fantastic results. So I think there's a real bit about looking strategically at who you want to play with, because there's a plethora of choice. You need to decide who are the strategic ones to back, and then make sure you don't dice your spend too much, which is one of the things we see a lot, is a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, a little bit of that, and you slice it so thinly that you don't actually drive effective campaigns. Decide who you're going to work with strategically, and then really leverage everything that they can do. The final bit, I think, is a bit around responsible advertising. And I'm really excited to see advertisers really leaning in that kind of area, which is around things like supporting quality journalism, which is around respecting user privacy and not forcing viewers to look at content, which we also believe is around diversity and inclusion, which is really, really important. platform today, and also reducing the carbon footprint, because all advertising has a carbon footprint. And actually, one of the benefits of Teads is because we're an end-to-end platform, we have a very, very low carbon footprint, which means that actually the more that clients work with us, very simply, they reduce their carbon footprint, which is also a good thing for the world in general.
That's wonderful to hear. I think the keywords that marketers or industry leaders would be excited to hear, like you mentioned, agility, future-proof, massive reach, brand safety, high levels of attention, and of course the responsible advertising and the less carbon footprint, right? I'm looking forward, Marc, to what Teads' future looks like and for your future partners. And there's so much more innovation that the industry is keeping up with and even anticipating.
Yeah, and I think from our perspective, a phrase that I use a lot, I mean, people in the business with him talk about it all the time, is we're only just starting to scratch the surface of our potential. So we're working with more and more partners as they find out what we do. They like it, they invest more, and it becomes a very positive and virtual cycle. So we're really excited because we've grown very quickly from here to here, but the headroom isn't there. The headroom is massive. And so I think you're going to see a lot more from us in the future.
Exactly. The headroom is massive. You're right. We are just scratching the surface. Wonderful to wrap up this session or this conversation today. So once again, thank you for sharing your valuable insights and expertise with us today. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
A real pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me on your platform.
We just heard from Marc, Global Chief Client Officer at Teads. What an exciting time for marketers, advertisers, and industry leaders. Now stay tuned for the next episode of What's Next interview series. I'm Catherine, and let's keep learning every day.